So he came in 65 to New York. So we are part actually of a big preaching mission, and we can actually become very easily empowered to preach if we just agree to be instruments in the Lord's hands, and if we follow the process of Krishna consciousness. And Bhakti Sebastian has sent to all of you, I believe, this book, Preaching is the Essence, so please read it and get inspired.
I need to invite you to the group.
Oh, yes. Okay.
So please read it and get inspired to preach and to give Krishna consciousness in one way or the other. There is many ways in which we can give Krishna consciousness to others, and this preaching spirit is very important, to always have a desire to give Krishna consciousness to others. I was very fortunate to be engaged in preaching even before I joined, because when devotees sent me letters and sent me back to Godhead magazine, and I was so impressed and so inspired that I started to preach as not even becoming a devotee, but just I was thinking this message is so important. And then my friends thought I'm a weird guy and trying to tell them something from India. And then also after I joined, after relatively short time, there was very few of us at that time in '83, so they also engaged me in different preaching activities. But even in '82, that was before I joined, in '82 in Vienna, there was Prabhupada Marathon. It was December when I visited, and they first engaged me and one also new devotee to distill books on the table. And we went, both of us were completely new, very, very new. I mean, I was just only 2 days, my first visit to the temple. And he was also just a newcomer visitor from Vienna. And we set up a table and we put a lot of books there, and we distributed nothing for about 2-3 hours. But then devotees were so enthusiastic, they said, okay, if you cannot distribute books, you can distribute invitations for Sunday feast. So that was successful. We went to the underground, and when people passed to the train, we gave them, or from the train, we gave them invitations. So then we felt useful, a little bit useful. So I want to read. It is the duty of the devotee to preach. The brahmachari must daily collect alms for the spiritual master. The brahmachari must daily sayam, pratas, charet, bhaiksham, gurave, tan, nivedayet. It doesn't say where is this from. The brahmachari should go out morning and evening to collect alms, and he should offer all that he collects to the spiritual master. It is the duty of every disciple to preach. Amazing. I was just randomly scrolling and I got the quote that I wanted, that I planned to speak about, and it just appeared here. Spreading Krishna consciousness is Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mission. Therefore, his sincere devotees must carry out his desire. The devotees of Lord Chaitanya must preach Krishna consciousness in every village and town in the world. That will satisfy the Lord. It is not that one should act whimsically for his own personal satisfaction. This order comes down through the parampara system, and the spiritual master presents these orders to the disciple so that he can spread the message of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. It is the duty of every disciple to carry the order of the bona fide spiritual master and spread Lord Chaitanya's message all over the world. So what is the order of Lord Chaitanya? Yare deha tare kaha Krishna upadesh amara agya guru hana tara edesh. Instruct everyone to follow the orders of Lord Shri Krishna as they are given in Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. In this way, become a spiritual master and try to liberate everyone in this land. So this was the instruction to Brahmana Kurma, who wanted to leave home and travel with Lord Chaitanya and to leave his family. And he told him, no, stay with your family, stay at your hometown or home village and liberate everyone in this land, in this place. In this age of Kali, later, people cannot follow the instructions of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and therefore the Lord himself takes the part of Sri Krishna Chaitanya to teach personally how to become Krishna conscious. He asks everyone to follow him and to become a guru to deliver the fallen souls of Kali Yuga. Again, Yarideka Tarikaha Krishna Upadesh. And one more. Lord Chaitanya advised his followers to preach. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu advised his followers to increase the numbers of Vaishnavas. It is Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's wish that everyone should become a Vaishnava and Guru. You see, everyone should become not only Vaishnava but also Guru Vaishnava. Following the instructions of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in his disciplic succession, one can become a spiritual master, for the process is very easy. One can go everywhere and anywhere to preach the instructions of Krishna. Bhagavad Gita is Krishna's instructions, therefore the duty of every Vaishnava is to travel and preach Bhagavad Gita either in his country or a foreign country. So some of you are in the foreign country now. And on, there are so many quotes like this. But the point is that preaching is not only for senior devotees or only for those who are educated or those who are super intelligent or those who want to do it, but it's the duty of everyone to preach. If you cannot preach directly, then you can help preaching, you can help preaching, help preachers, and help the preaching mission in one way or the other. Any aspect can be supported in one way or the other. If somebody is working, they can give their hard-earned money to support the mission in one way or the other, book distribution, book production, book printing. There are so many ways one can be engaged in this mission. So, ideally speaking, every one of you can see yourself as a preacher, actually, and as a representative of God. And that means that you are able to actually explain to people in a very reasonable way, and that you are explain to people and also clarify their doubts, answer their questions. So now we can have like a short session with questions. If you remember any questions that people ask usually about Krishna consciousness, that then we can see how we can answer these questions together. If you can remember some questions that people have asked you and you were not sure how to answer, sometimes these questions are technical, sometimes they are philosophical, sometimes they have to do with social life. So if you can remember, then you can tell them here, express them here, and then we can discuss a little bit. Yes?
Why should I preach to everyone? I can just preach to my friends and people I know. Why should I be like a preacher and like tell you what you should believe in? That's what I got from a friend.
That's the question.
If nobody asks you, no, for advice or something, just that what you mean?
Well, this is what a friend of mine told me. So I'm giving this question because I couldn't answer it.
Okay, so any answers?
Yes.
Yes?
I think maybe it was just an impression was a bit pushy. I don't know, because when we are preaching in this pushy way, forcible way, so violent, then the people, because when they meet us, they're very fine, and they're feared very much. There's so much fear. They are much more fine than we are. They just to touch them, it's just very, how to say, we should be very gentle, very, very gentle, because they don't know they have no idea. They have absolutely no idea. They are afraid of religion, they're afraid of not religion, they're afraid of everything. They don't know what to do. They simply, but they're very curious. What is it? I don't know. Very, very, because when the people feel a bit of this force.
Or maybe he wasn't pushy, maybe
Maybe a bit, I don't know.
maybe this person read it in the book, or here, like he read it in the book, maybe he read the book and he says, why your guru says that we should preach to everyone?
No, maybe yes.
Maybe that was the case, but I don't know, maybe you were pushing him or something. No.
Yeah, maybe I was. He's a person who's very learned, knows a lot of theories, but just theories, and then builds his worldview out of it. And I was like, okay, so that's what we do, and we like to give it to other people because we think it helps them. And he's like, oh no, I'm not so arrogant. He said that I would teach anyone how to live, like I just have my worldview and friends can maybe listen to me, but why should I tell anyone that this might be a good way or this might be a good way? Because everybody needs to do mistakes and go into the darkness, and everybody needs to find their own personal way and believe. And I was like, okay, what do I say now? It was quite casual actually. What do I say?
Yeah.
So, first of all, and I think this is a lot of wonderful questions, because, and I had, as I say, and that's when the people outside that don't want you to be teaching, they don't push it in a way, no, just don't give me that. But I think we should do it, and we should distribute this information to everyone, because that the goal of Lord Chaitanya, as you have read in the book, the goal was that all is to stop the suffering from all living entities. And you can stop the suffering from living entities only if the soul comes back to the God. And and we know here what is the autobahn to the God, so to say. Yeah?
Okay, and so you are saying you know everything, and you know everything.
No, I don't know everything. No, and I mean that I don't know anything. I don't know nothing. No, and I mean that and I give the information that there is something so interesting and so important to other people, they can find the points that are very important to them. And start their own way of Krishna consciousness.
Okay, so what we can do every day, we can have one question, like you now posed one question, and tomorrow someone else can pose a question, and then we can discuss it for about 10 minutes. And this way we can practice. So we have one question, then there will be presentations, and then, if you have more time, we can discuss more. So now we have this question. You have posed a very nice question. Somebody gave you this argument, and so you have said this, that you believe that this knowledge can liberate people from the cycle of birth. Now this is a big statement. You have to be able to explain it more. This, like, people don't buy into this, especially intelligent people, they don't buy into these big statements. Go, how do you know it's true? And how will you do that? And I mean, this is like a huge promise. So I think one has to be careful not to give like bombastic statements, but something down to earth. Something. You said something nice. You said something nice. The mood of your explanation is good. The mood of your explanation is that the reason why I say that this should be given to anyone, because everyone can benefit. So that's down to earth. This is down to earth. So the reason why I would like to give it to everyone, because I benefited and I think everyone can benefit. So something like that. Yes?
I just thought that we can just share with the person without pointing ourselves as a, how to say that we are something special. Just to share, like with the friends. You know, I have fun. I have learned something, and I would like to share with you. If you have benefit of this, if you can have benefit of it, then I would be glad. So like this, without being above, like just sharing.
Yes,
like
not top down.
Not
Yes, okay, but here the point is why to everyone? Is that the question? Why to everyone?
Honestly, this helped me quite a lot because I didn't do this. I didn't do this. Like, even explaining the process can be top down. Even telling what we do here can be top down if I don't reveal how I feel about it, what is my personal view on it. And I didn't share this, so I mean, like, it wasn't coming to me intuitively that I should share it with him. He's not a close friend, he's more like just a person I know.
Mm-hmm.
And so this could be actually like something I would like to try.
Very nice. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So this is a very important point. We should never sound top down. Never. As far as possible. because this is such authoritative knowledge, so sometimes it's difficult to not sound top down. But I mean, if you present like sharing, you see, if you present it like I'm just sharing, but sometimes, I mean, one devotee told me, she said, this is such an important information that we should scream it from the rooftops so that people, understand, that they understand how serious it is, like this. So in one sense, our message is very urgent, but in another way, we cannot impose it. The Prabhupada said, enter like a needle and come out like a plow. Don't enter like a plow and people run away. So, but if as much as possible, even there is here, it says how to preach, the method of preaching. With a straw in your hand, you approach people humbly and tell them, forget all your nonsense. But you see, you don't tell them like this, but basically you make them interested in the topic. And what I like to do with everyone, with wide range of people, is present universal principles. They are not sectarian, they are not Hindu, they are not Hare Krishna. Universal principles, and in Bhagavad Gita you can find universal principles. Principles of goodness, how to act in the mode of goodness. Also, I was presenting Bhagavad Gita as a success book for many years. This is a success manual. I went on the media, I was saying this is a success manual. Bhagavad Gita is a success manual. It has so many success principles that you can apply to your everyday life. So if they say that they see that we are very down to earth, very practical people, always ready to help, and we know a lot of things that can help even in ordinary life, then they may think that we are useful. Then they can learn more from us. So now, if I don't want to argue with him, I would say, okay, preach to your friends. You don't have to preach to everyone. Who said you don't have to preach to everyone? There is others who will preach to others. So you preach to your friends. Even if you preach to one person and they benefit, that would be great. I would be so grateful to you. So you'll please spread the message if you think it's valuable, if you think it's important. And we show that we respect people's free will, so they have a choice. You say, that's like sharing is like, okay, I'm sharing, so if you like, you can take it. Prabhupada also said, as far as your intelligence goes, how much you can understand. So if you tell them like this, maybe it's a little bit pushy. Like, if you have enough intelligence to understand this, then you will understand it. But sometimes you have to challenge people, and Prabhupada used to challenge them with very, very heavy statements. But we cannot imitate him. We have to see how we present according to our own realization. So yes, there is many ways you can actually deal with the situation where they say, why should I preach to everyone? And you know, nowadays people say, like mundane coaches, they say, I don't care what is your goal, I'm just helping you to achieve your goal. So devotee coach, he will not think like this. Or they say, I'm here to help you achieve your dreams, to achieve your dreams, to achieve your goals. And a Gita coach will say, I'm here to tell you what goals you should choose and then help you achieve them. And for people, it looks like, oh, who are you to tell me what is my goals? But we know that material goals will not bring happiness and lasting happiness. So we tell you what to think, we tell you what to want, we tell you what to feel, and then we help you. We help you to achieve this. And sometimes, I mean, when people develop trust in you as a reasonable person, you know, down to earth, not fanatical, then after that, you can practically tell them anything. You can challenge them, you can tell them heavy stuff. But first, the most important thing is that people understand that you are sane. And even better, that you are a saint. That you are sane. That means that you are reasonable, that you are normal, that you understand life, you understand what's going on, you are not somewhere in the clouds. You understand that people need money, people need to eat, people have senses, people have attachments. So you understand all these things, and you know the secret how to engage everything and how to purify everything. Not how to renounce everything, because nobody is ready for renunciation. But when you tell them you can engage, you can purify, then they say, oh, maybe that's possible. You know, make it better, make it more pure. So things like that. Okay, any other question or comment? Yes?
If possible, I have a question. You were speaking now, and I remembered one case. It was in on the Lotnishink at the farm. It was something about maybe 6.5 years, just the beginning, absolutely. Yeah, and there were the celebration, and Tatvavit was there, and my Guru Maharaj, Bhaktivinoda Maharaj, was also there, and he was giving the lecture about Lotnishink at the pastimes. And then Tatvavit at the end, he stood up and he said, may I ask a question for my own purification? He asked for his own purification just before everybody. Yes, so that's why my question now is, so how to combine these, because we are going out because of our own purification. That is the best school. I mean out, distributing out, because it's a bit more, maybe, you know, a bit better, a bit. Yes. And on the other side, we want to give our heart. We want to help the people. So how to understand, firstly help ourselves and then help the people. So these two, you know what I mean, these two sides.
What was the question?
To purify ourselves.
Oh, it's not a question, it's a comment.
Or to purify ourselves, preaching, or to pay attention to purify the others.
I think both go together. Both go together. If you help others, you help yourself also. Okay?
Okay. I know that what you I think myself the same, but just like a question, I think it's an interesting theme, yes, because very often the devotee is saying, yes, I'm going out to purify myself.
Over time, you start to actually see people as souls, and you start to like them. Maybe the beginning of your life. You hate everybody, but you're up to here, you don't want to see anybody. But when you approach them as a devotee, then you see them as souls, as your brothers, your sisters. You don't see just the conditioning, so you become more friendly.
It is in connection with Sebastian's question, that's why I asked it.
Okay.
That's why.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Okay, so now we have our presentations. Yes?
Short edition. I read today Radhanath Swami asked Srila Prabhupada, why should I preach? Actually, why should I go this path? Because actually I feel quite comfortable in this material world. And Srila Prabhupada told him, because of others, because of the benefit of others, because of like compassion of others. So like this should be our motivation. Like I mean to, because of ourselves, it's quite. We cannot do something for a long period of time because of ourselves. But maybe one time or 2 times. But the biggest motivation is to help, to spread, to do something for others. This is what I feel also. I cannot do something for myself for a long period of time. Even if it is for my purification, maybe as a result it will be, but not as a motivation, like, you know.
The Sanatana Dharma means eternal characteristic, inherent characteristic, and our inherent quality is service. So this is our nature, that we find pleasure in serving others. And we are learning Bhakti Yoga to serve with love and with devotion. And we find pleasure in this, in serving others. So this is the main quality of our nature, is actually service. This is described in the introduction of the Bhagavad Gita. So if somebody doesn't find pleasure in service, then he must be in illusion about who he is and what he is supposed to be doing. He must be thinking that he is the enjoyer, he is the controller. So we find pleasure in service. But we also don't like to serve everybody. For example, you like to serve your guru, but you don't like to serve devotee. Not you, but maybe somebody likes to serve. When guru is there, they're really enthusiastic. But then other devotees, this devotee I like, this devotee I don't like. But devotee, he likes to serve everybody because he knows everybody's dear to Krishna and everybody is on this path. So you want to help everybody and do for everyone, something for everyone. And see everybody as your brothers and sisters. Okay, so let us now do our presentations. We have 20 more minutes to 8 o'clock. This is 10 minutes each. You and Prabhuji, so who wants to go first?
You, ladies first. Yeah.
Great job.
How many people are looking to the lecture? One. Turn it off.
Turn off?
Yeah.
Krishna is looking the one person.
Well, we always were filming. You cannot just you have to go
Very
through
sweet.
it. You have to go through it.
Even this one person now is went. Because
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
They say don't turn it off. Don't turn it off. They say don't turn it off.
so should we film or?
Okay, so Lilavita Mataji, you want to start or?
Oh, it does not, I can start.
Yeah. I will do like this when you have 1 more minute to finish. I will do like this.
So firstly I want to thank Guru Prabhu and devotees for giving me this possibility to speak. Trying to speak in movements. apply this knowledge in practice. In such a difficult situation is the other thing. So that's why Bhagavad Gita, Krishna in Bhagavad Gita, he teaches us how to understand the aim of Bhagavad Gita, how to understand the aim of our preaching. I'll tell about this more later. So I have taken as a topic two texts. The topic itself is fear and how to avoid it. Based on two texts. The first one, 1 and 1, and the text from the end of the Bhagavad Gita, 1866. That's why may I read the text? I don't know how you're reading. May I read the text or shall I not read anything?
Only verse.
Only verse.
Yeah. Otherwise, you're taking from your speaking time.
I know that. Right? So, Dharmakshate Kurukshate Samayitayu Samaham Mamaka Pandavascheva Kim Akurvata Sanjay. So that is the beginning of Bhagavad Gita. Translation.
Yep.
So Dhritarashtra said, O Sanjay, after my sons and the sons of Pandu assembled in the place of pilgrimage at Kurukshetra, desiring to fight, what did they do? That is what Dhritarashtra asked. What is important for the topic I have chosen is that the whole battle was taking place on Dharmakshete, Kurukshetra. That was a religious place. I will not tell the content about Pandavas and Kurus, yes. That's why the religious place, the holy place, and that's why the victory was already predicted, because on the holy place the victory can belong only to the people who are fulfilling their devotional religious duty. And the aims of two parties were different, because the Pandavas, they were always pious in spite of the one family, because they were brought up by Dhritarashtra, and Kurus were also brought up by Dhritarashtra, but Kurus were his own sons. That's why he asked about it. He divided the sons, his own sons, and not his own sons. Yes, and that's why the aims are different. The aim, religious and pious aim, bring us to the victory, because it is predicted by Krishna already. And that's why he was on the side of Pandavas, because he loved them. And not only because of that, he had relations. He was Kunti was his aunt, and he also was in this family. So that is about the first text. Why I want to compare the first text and the text 66 text from Bhagavad Gita, from chapter 18. Because the topic was about fear, and the first text, Dhritarashtra is fear, because he understands that situation is very complete, and he knows that Krishna is on the side of Pandavas, and he is very nervous. And Arjuna, we are coming to Arjuna. Yes, Arjuna, who is taking part in this battlefield as well too. He's also nervous and he is feared because he doesn't know what side to take. I'm sorry, I go back a bit, yes, to the text one, because the Kurus and Pandavas are different, the aims are different. The aim of Pandavas is pious, that means they are more surrendered to Krishna. They know what aim they have in this battle, in this battle. And the Kurus, they have the other aim. They have the aim to take to themselves what doesn't belong to them. So to get something, not to give. And Arjuna is very feared because he doesn't want to lose his enjoyment. He asks how can so what pleasure will we have from killing the sons of Dhritarashtra? And if they are killed, everything is killed, we enjoy. If everything is killed, we enjoy. Then what we enjoy will be tainted with blood. So what pleasure can we have of it? Yeah, he can't understand how he can get rid of this taking pleasure with his relative, with his teachers, with his friends. That's why he can't divide the situation into. He can't differentiate the situation. Yes, with who and what is his devotional duty. Because he is connected to his family, as we all. And the other side, he is Kshatriya, he should fulfill his devotional duty. And it's difficult for him because he is in grief. He is weak. He's angry also because he said to Krishna, so wow, you killed Demon Madhusudana, and for me you give the opportunity to kill my relatives. No, it's not to be compared. I don't want to do it. And that is because of fear. There are different fears, but this fear is to lose the enjoyment, to lose the usual feeling, the usual connections we have to enjoy. I think now the situation is very difficult because it's also about when we have fear, so that is more or less, because fear can be more fun, that is also somehow fear to lose our relatives. Then I go back very quickly to the last.
So we now make a conclusion.
Conclusion is about surrender, because the aim, I wanted to tell some words about the 66 text. Surrender. The aim of Bhagavad Gita is to bring us to this state of to surrender. That's why this text, 66 text, 66 text shows us that is somehow the bhakti, devotion to pure bhakti, and the surrender, just like in Sharanagati, because Arjuna didn't understand at the beginning that Krishna can protect him. Then later he asked Krishna, okay, now I can't solve the situation, please instruct me. I can't do anything myself. And at the end of Gita, when Krishna says Ma Suchaha, and he promises to, he says, avoid all the kinds of religion and surrender unto me, and I will make you free from all your sins. Ma Suchaha, don't be afraid. So if we know that Krishna protects us, that Krishna saves us in all times, in all situations, then we can surrender, and then we don't have any fear.
Okay, time is up. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
It was so quick. I didn't know it's so quick.
Well, actually every speaker should see the clock. Not that I always have to say.
But no,
So everybody should be turned towards the clock and then look, you have 10 minutes. And you can now see the clock.
Yeah.
You have actually now it's 7.
One word.
One more word?
One word.
One word?
Hare Krishna.
So that's why should we surrender? Why should we understand that Krishna always protecting us? Because he was speaking about preaching. If we don't understand it more and more, preaching has no essence. Preaching has no sense. Yes, because then we can't present it to the people.
Okay. Okay, thank you. So now you can speak.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much to all attentive devotees. And I would like to speak today about the duality, and as long as we are here in the material world.
About what?
Duality.
Duality.
Duality is all about right and wrong, good and bad. And for this purpose, I have prepared one verse from the Bhagavad Gita. It sounds like just try to learn the truth by approaching a spiritual master, and incur from him submissively and render service unto him. The self-realized souls can impart knowledge unto you because they have already seen the truth. And I think this is a very important thing, because we can make progress in studying, in learning in spiritual way. So not only by hearing, by hearing, by talking, by exchanging the minds. So we cannot stay in a home and just reading books and do anything. It does not work. And in this way, it's very important to have a teacher. And I think the devotees are very lucky. The devotees who have found a guru, they're very lucky. And because it's pretty complicated. So there are so many people, so many personalities, and it's a big pleasure to find the guru. And the guru is the one who sees the talent of the young devotee, and he tries to develop it. He knows his good and bad sides, and this is actually the only one important teacher in the life. And when we think about the modern and Western school system, we see the completely difference. Yeah? We have so many teachers in every subject, from sport to art, to music and mathematics, physics, and every teacher wants that we are doing his subject very good. And nobody cares about the personal relationship, about the personal things. And the modern school system has so many difficulties, so many problems. No? So, for example, that the child, he loves the nature, yes, but he must sit inside of four walls. A child likes to realize that his work has some sense, but his activity brings no results. Child cannot stay without movement, and in the school he is forced to immobility. Child like to work with hands, but in the school he is learned by theories and dry ideas. And the child likes to communicate, to speak, and so we have to communicate, but in the school he has to be quiet. Child aims or is trying to understand, and in the school he has to memorize. The child would like to found the knowledge on his own, but in the school he gets in the finished form. Yeah? And I think that this system, from the very beginning of human life, it makes so many mistakes, so many problems in the personalities. Then the children, they are learning how to lie and how to simulate. And this is a very important point that I would like to share with you, because yes, we are living now in I forgot in the Kali Yuga. Yes, it is not so easy, yeah, but we should not think that all the people outside, they are so in Kali Yuga and they are so bad and so wrong. I think they are just sick because of the school. They have so many troubles that have brought from the school. And who has the responsibilities of that? Yeah, I think that the responsibilities have the demons that have built this system. They have now the time to rule, and they have the full responsibility. And I would like to give you an instrument how to see what they are doing. Yes, you can see it in a very simple way. There is something that the God, the Krishna, has created, and the demons, they cannot create anything. They try just to destroy it. As you can see, and this is an example, they are destroying only by turning it as an upside down. They are not intelligent at all. They take the right way and they make an upside down. This is what they do. And there are some examples for that. Yeah. First of all, is democracy. Yeah. There is no democracy. It should be an imperator and some kings who has the responsibilities to the whole nation, yeah, to the whole people, and not this only democracy that is everybody going into something new. Or another example of inside out is that women, yes, we know from the Vedic culture, literature, that they need our protection. This is absolutely normal, yes, and this is okay. No, but there's a system outside, the demons, they try to give us information, no, it's not true, no, and so on, and like that. Another example that I have seen when I'm walking around here in KOELN is animals, for example, dogs. When you're walking around and you see that the dog and you smile, you show that, wow, it's a beautiful dog. The human who has it, this is a dog, he's then laughing too. Oh, you like my dog, he must be a nice person. But if you look at the person and you're laughing, then you're walking away. Hey, what's wrong? Why is he looking at me? Yeah? And I think this is strange what people are doing, what the demons are doing. and they are absolutely, they have absolutely no, they are not intelligent at all. They are trying to do it never upside down, and the best example is the symbols that they have, because the symbol of the human is a pentagram. This is a five and star. This is on shows when a human is standing, two legs down, then hands into the Kopf, and a pentagram. And what is the symbol of the Tibetan people? This is a pentagram, but upside down. And I would like, if you, after knowing this, try to ask yourself, if you're going outside, what is right or what is wrong. Also, was ist Nachfrage? Ask
Question.
this way. So to ask is a question: is that you are seeing? Is this right or is this upside down? Is this so like it should be or it's not? And in this way, try to figure it out, try to speak about it, and in the best case, I think we have to start to fight on this, yeah? Because this is very important that we will change the system. That the system are destroying us and everything on this on the planet, no? We see, and it cannot stay like this, I think, yeah? And if you become a fear, yeah, fear like, oh, but they have so much money, they have so much power and something like that, well, what should I do? Fear, if you have no fear, think about that is in a Prabhupada sense. He said that we are all soldiers in the Krishna army. And if you have really realized that you are soldiers, you have no fear. Because there are only two possibilities for a soldier. First one, you will die, and the second one, you will win. Hare Krishna.
Haribo.
Okay, now two of you say something about your presentation.
Thank you so much. I find your presentation very beautiful.
No,
Very nice.
no, that's nice.
What shall I say?
You say about your presentation.
What my presentation?
Yeah.
My presentation also nice. Because I'm so thankful that I could say something. Yes, so I feel very, very, how to say, protected.
Okay.
When you're speaking. And next time it will be 10 minutes. Because I didn't know how to, so it was not structured correctly. And because I was trying to speak what is in the Shastras, maybe it should be more, because I wanted to say something more about myself, my opinion, and I need not my opinion, why I took this text, because this last text, 66, it was interesting for me just from the beginning of the Bhagavad Gita. This Matsuchaka was my problem. Why? Yes, and maybe I gave something about the idea of Gita. It was maybe okay, but it should be more. It should be structured. It should be structured. There should be no empty spaces.
Okay, and you, what do you think about your own presentation?
I have achieved the goals that I had. The first one was the goal is to try not to be nervous, because it is very difficult for me, and I think it was okay. Thank you, you're the best audience. It was good, and I think this was the most important for me. And I have made some notes, and I think I have said everything that I wanted, and I was 30 seconds longer than I wanted.
Okay, so you see that when you have to speak, then you also have to prepare, and you are thinking ahead before you come to speak. So you're thinking about how I present it, and you actually this is service. It's service. You are serving those who listen to you by preparing and by thinking what will you say, how will you make a point, how will you try to inspire devotees. So your service of speaking begins before you speak. It begins when you prepare. But it's a nice process and it forces you to think. I just had a session with a devotee from Argentina who, amazing session. He was coaching me about writing a book. And when he started explaining, because I have transcripts of my classes that I want to turn into a book. And I didn't know what to do and how to how to start. And when he started explaining, I saw, wow, this is the whole science. Amazing. I mean, he has the whole system how to write a book, how to think about writing a book, how to plan it, how to think. So it's fantastic. So if you have like a system how to, I mean, I didn't teach you anything. I just wanted to see how you can do it on your own. But if you prepare well and you have a clear idea of what you want to say, you have introduction, you have presentation, you have conclusion, then it's an amazing process. It actually also purifies the mind and helps you to control the mind. It has an amazing effect on your whole spiritual life. So therefore, preaching by speaking, I mean preaching has many forms. By preaching, by making presentation or class, is actually an amazing, wonderful and scientific way to make spiritual advancement. And you benefit yourself, you benefit others. Okay, anyone wants to give feedback on their presentation? Yes? But actually, not what you have seen they have done well.
Mainly, he found out the greatest mistake in the present education system.
He what?
Found out the greatest mistake what we are doing in the present education system.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm.
And one more thing, he told how to acquire the knowledge from spiritual master and from whom we have to acquire the knowledge.
Okay. Thank you. Anybody else? Yes?
Both were very sincere.
He's sincere.
Yeah, about their topics.
You like that they were sincere?
Yes.
I like that you speak loud enough.
Lively.
It's not difficult to hear you because you speak, loud enough. And it's not too loud, but it's not too soft. And you are quite animated about this. Yeah. I think you will be very, how to say, you could become very, what?
Motivated.
Motivated speaker, yeah, motivator, inspired speaker, I would say like this.
Mm-hmm.
And for Mother Lilamita, I was, for me it's not easy because you speak very soft. It's not easy for me even to hear, maybe I'm getting deaf or something. So I was thinking if you would speak in the microphone, then I could hear you better.
Soft, you mean too silent, should be louder?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I was struggling to hear everything you say.
Oh, okay.
But it was interesting for me that you had chosen the first verse and almost the last verse, one of the last verses in the Gita. And I thought it's an interesting way. Actually, first I thought you had chosen the first and last, but 66 is not the last, 78 is the last, but it's towards the last verses. First I was thinking you will speak about the first and the last verse, but then you said 66. And it's interesting to speak about the beginning and the end of the Gita and try to kind of put everything in 10 minutes. It's like a very quick overview. It's kind of interesting the design of the speech, of the presentation. And I felt you feel for your topic quite a lot. You feel for it. How can I say? You have studied it. You have studied it, and you think it's important. It's important. It's valuable. And I could feel this through your presentation. We can continue next week with these sessions from Monday to Friday, but because on Thursday we didn't have a session, so tomorrow we can also have a session if there is not other programs. Is there other programs tomorrow? Or?
I don't think so.
What?
Anybody making deity dressing Mataji on Sunday? What? Decoration for the deities on Sunday?
But
Anybody
only from those who are in the temple, because nobody can enter.
Yeah, but people sit here and making the flowers.
Garlands, making garlands.
Tomorrow is Saturday.
They make garlands in the kitchen. We're not here.
It depends.
I mean, devotees can do garlands here during the program, during our session also.
They can listen to, they can go.
Yeah, they can do this, but tomorrow we have also two devotees. We said like this, we planned like this to have two devotees making presentation.
Who is it?
Mother Dara and Bhakti Angel.
Okay.
So this is for tomorrow, and then on Sunday we will not have, and then on Monday we can continue having. But then next week we can do more questions, and any questions like this that he had, we can do more these questions and answers. And I have to think what else we could do. And if you have ideas, also you can send me on WhatsApp. What else we could do in relation to preaching? How to improve our preaching skills? So you can send me, and then we can include it also. So thank you very much. And Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare Krishna.
Srila Prabhupada ki
Jai.